On the night of October 1st, 2017, country star Jason Aldean took the stage at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas at 9:40 p.m. It was supposed to be a great concert, but tragedy struck. Just half an hour into the performance, someone opened fire into the crowd of 200 people. And it wasn't just a few shots, it was a massacre. This is the story of Stephan Paddock, who caused the deadliest mass shooting by a single gunman in American history. After the shooting started, despite being in the middle of the crowd, Aldean managed to escape without getting harmed, but the same couldn't be said about his fans. The shooter continued shooting into the crowd relentlessly. At first, it wasn't even clear where the bullets were coming from. It was just raining bullets all over. Eventually, people narrowed it down to be from a hotel room at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. Using multiple rifles, the shooter managed to fire upon approximately 22,000 people. Throughout the night, starting at 10:05 p.m., he fired more than 1,000 rounds from his hotel room, room 32-135, onto the crowd below, resulting in the deaths of 60 people and injuries to 867 others. During the attack, he'd placed a webcam on a service cart outside his hotel room, which allowed him to monitor the hallway. At one point, he had fired approximately 35 rounds through his hotel room door, injuring hotel security guard Jesus Campos. Campos, who was unarmed, had approached the 32nd floor around 9:59 p.m, initially attempting to enter the hallway for an unrelated matter, but he'd found the door screwed shut. At 10:05 p.m, he began firing hundreds of rounds of bullets at the crowd below. The attack lasted for about 10 minutes before he ceased firing at 10:15 p.m. After the shooting, police and hotel security conducted a thorough search of several floors at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino to locate the shooter. They eventually figured out which exact room it was. It was Stephan Paddock's suite on the 32nd floor. Police identified him as the shooter. SWAT officers later stormed Paddock's room, breaking through the bolts he'd used to keep it shut. When they entered his room, it was revealed that he'd taken his own life by shooting himself before the police had even entered. Sheriff Joseph Lombardo revealed that there was evidence that Paddock had planned to escape after attacking the Las Vegas Music Festival, but Paddock ultimately chose to take his own life as police closed in on his hotel suite. Paddock had also amassed a huge amount of potentially explosive materials in his car, along with a large stockpile of ammunition and fertilizer, which can be used to make explosives. These items could indicate that he was planning to flee, but it clearly didn't work out. On the other hand, Paddock had also purchased a plane ticket for his girlfriend to travel to her native Philippines and wired her $100,000 right before the shooting. Some experts think he might have done this to ensure his girlfriend's well-being after his death. But how could one man pull off something this crazy? Stephan put a lot of planning behind his attack. He'd arrived at Mandalay Bay Hotel almost a week before the incident. He was initially reported to have checked in on Thursday, September 28th. But it was later revealed that he actually checked in on Monday, September 25th, 3 days earlier. Paddock reportedly requested a high-level suite with a view of Route 91 Harvest Festival, but was unable to secure one immediately. According to the Associated Press, Paddock didn't move into the 32nd floor room he used for the shooting until Saturday, the night before the incident took place. The hotel reportedly even gave him the room for free since he was considered a good customer. Upon investigation, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department discovered 23 guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition in Paddock's room. Before this, he had purchased around 29 firearms between 1982 and September 2016, mainly handguns and shotguns. His girlfriend had noticed an increase in firearm-related purchases, but thought his interest in guns was just a hobby. Not only that, but he used a bump stock, which is a very cheap modification accessory that made his semi-automatic guns fire like they were fully automatic. That's why the bullets didn't stop until he wanted them to. Paddock's meticulous planning for the attack even included setting up at least 3 cameras to monitor the corridor outside his room, indicating a calculated and premeditated approach to the tragedy. But was he acting alone? Police have interviewed Mary Lou Danley, Stephan Paddock's girlfriend, who has been cooperative throughout. She wasn't in the US at the time of the shooting, but came back from the Philippines and has been willing to answer any questions they might have. Danley stated that she had no idea about any of Paddock's plans and believed the money he wired her was a sign that he was ending their relationship because they were going through a major rough patch. Eric Paddock, the suspect's brother, told reporters that Stephan had no connections to political or religious groups. Sheriff Joseph Lombardo mentioned that investigators had identified 200 instances of Paddock moving around Las Vegas before the attack, always alone. But he couldn't always be alone, could he? How could no one sense that something was about to go horribly wrong? Well, a little while after the incident, letters obtained by the Las Vegas Review-Journal reveals that a friend of Stephan Paddock, the gunman behind the 2017 Las Vegas shooting, was concerned about Paddock committing a violent act. In the letters, the friend, Jim Nixon, begs Paddock not to harm innocent people, stating, "Please don't go shooting or hurting people who did nothing to you." The 10 letters were discovered in an abandoned office building in Mesquite, Texas, by the new owners in late November 2017, according to FBI reports. In one letter, dated May 27, 2017, Nixon offered to find help for Paddock, saying, "I can get someone for you who can help you." Nixon had sent 9 of the letters to Paddock between 2013 and June 2017. He mentioned that there were no issues in their relationship initially, but Paddock later became, quote, bitter at the system and started discussing death frequently. He never shared his concerns about Paddock with authorities because, according to him, he didn't know that Paddock would actually go ahead with the shooting. But he did, and he went into it with full force. But if he was mad at the system, why take it out on innocent people? More than 24 hours after the discovery of Stephan Paddock's body in his hotel room, authorities were still searching for a motive behind the deadly Las Vegas shooting. Paddock was described by friends, family, and authorities as an occasional gambler who enjoyed hunting and aviation. No one could figure out why he would randomly fire into a crowd of 22,000 people like that. At 64 years old, Paddock was a millionaire who earned much of his wealth through real estate investments, according to his brother Eric Paddock. His age and financial status do not fit the typical profile of a mass shooter. Reports from FBI interviews with individuals who knew or encountered Paddock provide some insight into his mindset before the shooting. Paddock was known to spend long hours gambling in various hotels, sometimes up to 18 hours a day. One fellow gambler told the FBI that Paddock was upset about the way casinos were treating him and other high rollers. He explained that casinos used to offer lavish perks like free cruises and penthouse suites to high rollers, but these perks had been reduced in recent years. A lot of casinos were even banning high rollers because of how big they'd win. Records indicate that Paddock stayed at the Tropicana for a few weeks leading up to the shooting, and lost $38,000 during that stay. Another person, interviewed by the FBI, mentioned a conversation with Paddock at an Applebee's restaurant where Paddock mentioned that gambling was his primary source of income. If that's the case, his being banned would mean he couldn't make money anymore. Investigations have revealed that Paddock had no ties to terrorists or hate groups and no criminal history. While his wealth had decreased in the period before the attack, he wasn't in debt at the time of the shooting. The exact motive behind Stephan's actions still remains a mystery to this day. If you found this video interesting, please show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel for more content. Until next time, take care.